The Little Dragon Who Loved the Ocean. Once upon a time, far beyond the rolling hills and whispering forests, in a valley cradled by majestic mountains, there lived a little dragon named Lila. Lila was not like the other dragons in her family. While her brothers and sisters loved to soar high above the clouds, breathing fire and chasing the wind, Lila would often find herself gazing wistfully at the distant horizon, where the land met the endless, sparkling blue of the ocean. No dragon in Lila's family had ever visited the ocean. To them, the water was a mystery, a place far away and full of unknowns. But to Lila, the ocean was a dream waiting to come true. She would spend hours watching the river that wound through her valley, following its path with her eyes as it curled and twisted its way towards the far-off sea. Whenever the breeze carried the scent of salt water through the air, Lila's heart would flutter with excitement. One bright morning, as the sun rose and painted the sky with golden light, Lila gathered her courage. She decided it was time to follow her dream. With a gentle flap of her emerald wings, she approached her mother, a wise dragoness with scales that shimmered like moonlight. "Mother," Lila asked softly, "may I travel to the ocean? I want to see if it's as beautiful as I imagine." Her mother looked into Lila's bright, eager eyes. She saw the yearning in her daughter's heart and knew that sometimes dreams must be chased, even if they lead to unknown places. With a loving nuzzle, she agreed. "Be brave, my little one. The journey will be long, and you may face challenges, but you have a kind heart and a curious spirit. Remember, the greatest adventures begin with a single step." With her mother's blessing, Lila set out on her journey. She followed the river, flying low so she could watch the water dance over rocks and hear it singing as it journeyed to the sea. Along the way, Lila met many new friends. She greeted a family of otters who invited her to play in the river, and she watched as a school of silver fish darted beneath the surface, sparkling like jewels. As she traveled, Lila noticed how the river changed. It grew wider and deeper, its waters swirling with energy. Sometimes the path was easy, with gentle breezes and peaceful meadows. Other times storm clouds gathered, and the wind howled, making it hard for Lila to fly. But she remembered her mother's words and pressed on, her heart full of hope. One evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the world in shades of orange and pink, Lila felt something change. The air grew cooler, and the salty scent she loved became stronger. She followed the river until, suddenly, the land opened up before her, and she saw it, the ocean. It stretched as far as she could see, its surface glittering under the setting sun like a million diamonds. Lila landed on a soft, sandy beach, her eyes wide with wonder. She had never seen anything so vast and beautiful. Waves rolled onto the shore, their foamy edges tickling her claws. Seagulls soared overhead, calling out cheerful greetings. Lila dipped her tail into the cool water and laughed as the waves splashed playfully around her. For days, Lila explored the shoreline. She watched crabs scuttle along the sand, built castles from seashells, and made friends with dolphins who leapt and played in the surf. Every day brought new wonders, and Lila's heart felt lighter than ever. One morning, while exploring a tide pool, Lila spotted a tiny seahorse trapped among some seaweed. The little creature struggled to break free. Lila gently used her claws to untangle the seaweed, and the grateful seahorse thanked her with a joyful swirl and a flick of its tail. "You have a kind heart, little dragon," said the seahorse. "The ocean is lucky to have you." As the days passed, Lila began to miss her family and her mountain home. She knew it was time to return. As she prepared to leave, her new friends gathered on the shore. The dolphins sang her a farewell song, and the seagulls circled in the sky, cheering her on. Lila promised to visit again, carrying a seashell as a reminder of her adventure. When Lila returned to her valley, her family gathered around, eager to hear her stories. She told them of the shimmering waves, the playful dolphins, and the wonders of the ocean. Her brothers and sisters listened in awe, their eyes shining with excitement. From that day on, Lila was known as the little dragon who loved the ocean. She taught her family about the beauty of the sea and the importance of following your dreams, no matter how far they may take you. And every now and then, when the breeze carried the scent of salt water to the mountains, Lila would smile, knowing that her heart belonged to both the sky and the sea. The story of Lila, the little dragon, soon spread beyond her valley. Other young dragons, inspired by her courage, began to visit the ocean, each returning with their own tales of adventure and friendship. The dragons learned that the world was full of wonders, just waiting to be discovered. And so, Lila's journey became a legend, reminding everyone that with a brave heart and a curious spirit, even the wildest dreams can come true. The end.